What's up guys, it's Ronson here, and this is the second episode of the Lille Lads, and this is just an overview of the months of August and September. As you can see, 1st of October, got a game against Stade Rennais today, and Musa Sissoko, who I've bought quite a lot, as other teams, won Player of the Month, League 1 Player of the Month. He's a centre midfielder, and he's also top goal scorer of the month. 5 goals in 4 games, so obviously strikers haven't been exactly great. Anyway, we'll get into the fixtures. Our first game of the season was against AS Nancy-Lorraine, and we won quite comfortably 3-0. Moussa Sow getting 2 and Eden Hazard getting 1. Moussa Sow scored the first one for us in the 24th minute, then Hazard about 10 minutes later, and then Moussa Sow on the 84th minute confirmed it for us. They really didn't provide much in this game. They said they had 7 shots, but they only had 2 on target, and really they weren't providing much the whole game. We were pretty much all over them. We just couldn't. We could have had about 7 or 8 this game, and we didn't really have much possession, but we did a lot more with the possession we had than the possession they had. The second game of the League 1 season was a 0-0 draw with Montpellier at home, and this was really disappointing. The finishing was absolutely awful, and I was pretty horrified. I mean, we had 59% possession, 12 shots, only 5 on target, and we were pretty much all over them the whole game, and we just couldn't put it in the back of the net. Sow must have oofed. Sow is one of those players that is just so on and off. One game he'll be brilliant, and then the next he'll just miss every single shot he has to take. But it was horrible, and we could have done so much better, and that would have been. It was a bit of a slip up, to be honest, this game. It started to get worse for us, and we managed to lose against Cannes, who we were the heavy favourites for this game. Like, all the bookies were saying, yeah, we'll definitely win, and well, we just did not. Yet same problem yet again. We just couldn't put it in the back of the net. Many more shots on target, tiny bit more possession, but they got one chance and they took it, whereas we had about 10 and we didn't take any of ours. So fair play to them. We were just awful, and it was starting to look not great for us at the start of the season. We were sort of bottom half of the table 3 games in. I mean, it's recoverable, but it was just not looking good, and if this run of form continued, we would have been pretty screwed. After the Cannes game, I was pretty worried that Marseille were just going to batter us, because they are one of the best teams in the French league, but we managed to pull through, and this was a pretty lucky result, if I'm totally honest. We did take the lead through Shedjdu from a corner, but they managed to equalise in the last minutes of the game, and I was just head in my hands. I was like, oh god. And I just threw everything, threw the whole book at them. I put everything on an overload, and put like shoot on sight and everything. And eventually, well, not eventually, but a few minutes later, Yellen did manage to poke it home from about 2 yards out, and it was such a good goal. Well, it wasn't such a good goal, but it was such a good feeling to score that, and it sort of ended our bad run of form up until that point, and set us up for the next games. This game, until the 78th minute, it looked just like what had happened before the win with Marseille. We were not taking our chances. We'd had 16 shots, and the whole team was not firing. But then Marco Bassa managed to sort of get it in from a goal line scramble, and then Moussa Sow finally broke his duck for the last couple of games and put it in the back of the net. And that was really good. I would have played Yellen for this game after his last minute winner, but he managed to get injured playing for Poland. And then I was disappointed that they managed to get one back. Basically, our centre back Shedjdu crossed it in for Cinema Pongal. I don't know what he was playing at, but really annoying that we didn't keep the clean sheet. But I'm just happy we managed to get the 2 goals right at the end, and it was a good, solid win. This was our first game in the Champions League, and as you can see, we won 4-2. Which, against the weakest team in the group, was not bad, but it could have been a lot better. We took the lead through Joe Cole in the 3rd minute very early, and then Moussa Sow put us 2-0 up after 8 minutes, which was really pretty good. I was happy with that. Moussa Sow was playing well, and most of the team, they were gelling well, and it was going well. But Fry soon got a goal back, and it was pretty even for the rest of the first half. Then in the second half, they sort of came back and played a lot better, and Fry managed to equalise. And I was thinking, oh God, we've just thrown away a 2-0 lead. But Sow managed to score an absolute beauty of a goal with a sort of a curling shot from just outside the box with the inside of his foot, and that was amazing. And then when Basel were pushing for that late equaliser, Hazard, we managed to get a penalty. I thought Moussa Sow might take the penalty, but Hazard stepped up and scored the penalty. So 4-2 in our first game in Europe was a pretty good result, and I'm quite happy with that. Our next game was against FC Sochaux Montby, and this was a 1-1 draw. I wasn't too unhappy about this because they are quite a good side. They were top of the league at the time, and they're still top of the league at the moment. I think they're ahead of us by 2 points, but they took the lead in the 10th minute early on with Modibo Maiga. It was a good through ball from Marvin Martin, who's a very good player, central midfielder. I looked at signing him, but he didn't want to come to the club. We did manage to equalise, however, right at the end. 85th minute goal from Florent Balmont, bit of a tap in, but it was one of our only chances, and unlike us normally, we did manage to take the one chance we got. Joe Cole got injured in the 89th minute, but I think it was only for about it was only for a week or so, so he was soon back in the side, but I can swap Joe Cole and pay it out most of the time. We then came up against quite a strong Bordeaux side and beat them 3-1, which was quite lucky, to be honest, given they had 61% possession, we only had 39%. However, we managed to dominate the shots. We had 11 shots in total, they only had 5, whereas we had 9 on target, they had 1, which shows that recently we've been getting a lot better and getting a lot more of our shots on target. Moussa Sow still getting better and better as the season progresses. He grabbed 2 goals, he got 1 in the 17th minute. They equalised quite quickly, however, in the 24th minute. A mistake from our centre-back Bassa allowed Gouffran to go through and score an alright goal. Moussa Sow then equalised in the 33rd minute with a goal much like his first, and we were pretty much set, and we controlled the game after that, having a couple of chances but not managing to put them away, for Papaswari, our young left-back, managed to belt one in from about 30 yards in off the crossbar, and it was a very nice goal, and it capped off quite a nice win against Bordeaux. Our next game was against FC Lorient, and we won this 1-0, which was probably quite lucky given that Moussa Sow was suspended for this game and Yellen managed to get himself injured in the 11th minute, which shows that Yellen is quite injury prone. However, our young reserve striker, only given 2 stars by the coaches, got himself on the score sheet in the 52nd minute with quite a nice finish, and that was the only goal of the game. They had 7 shots, but they only managed to get 1 on target, and we pretty much dominated the game, but we just didn't have a proper striker up front, which is probably why we didn't win it by as much as we probably could have had we had Yellen or Moussa Sow in the side. The last game of this episode came against CSKA Moscow, who are in our Champions League group, who are slightly better than us, but I'm happy with the result we got at home. They took the lead with Doumbia through quite a nice finish, Doumbia being a pretty good player. However, Hazard managed to get one back with a bit of a tap-in, and then they managed to score in the 80th minute, and it didn't look too good. Seydou Doumbia getting his second. It was from a throw-in, and Honda won a flick on. Keisuke Honda, who's one of the smallest players in football, so I don't know how. So they managed to get one back. However, Eden Hazard with a pretty comedy goal. Moussa Sow took a shot, which was saved by Akinfeev. Then their right back attempted to clear it, cleared it straight into Eden Hazard's face. It hit him in the face, and it went into the back of the net. So a pretty funny goal, but overall it wasn't a bad game. We maybe could have won it, as we had a couple more shots on target, couple more shots overall, and a tiny bit more possession. But against a strong CSKA Moscow side, I was happy with the 2-2 draw, which keeps us in second place, which I'm happy with, and we're just behind Porto in the Champions League group. As you can see from the table, we are third in the league after 8 games, having won 5, drawn 2 and lost 1. We've got +7 goal difference, which is the only reason we're behind Marseille, as they have +11. Sochaux Montby are top of the league, having drawn 1 less, won 1 more and drawn 1 less than us in Marseille. Toulouse are just behind us, and the big boys, PSG and Lyon, are quite far behind actually, and I'd expect Lyon especially to be doing a lot better than they are. They've only won 2 games and drawn 6, which is quite surprising, But let's check out the player stats. So we go on to player stats. Goals, top of the goals is Laurent Remy, who's a pretty good player, and playing for Marseille with 7. Our only player there is Moussa Sow in 4th with 5, and in 2nd is Moussa Sissoko and Modiba Maiga. Average rating, Moussa Sow is up there as well, bottom of the list in 7th there with a 7.44 rating, which isn't bad, and I'm quite happy with that. Last but not least is our Champions League group. As you can see, we're 2nd, having won 1 and drawn 1 with a +2 goal difference. We're ahead of CSK and Basel having not won any. CSK getting 1 point, and that was with us. Porto are powering ahead. They managed to beat Moscow 5-0 in the first game, and Basel 3-1. So we're playing Porto away in our next game, which is kind of worrying, as they're judging by the results so far, they could really give us a kicking. But hopefully I'll set up defensively, and hopefully we'll do pretty well in that game. And yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this episode, guys. That is it coming to an end, and give us a like and subscribe if you want to see more of this series, so then you can keep up with it. And really, I've not got much more to say. In our next, I'll quickly check who we've got. In the next month, I'm sorry I sort of put 2 months together here, but in the next month we have the month of October. We've got Stade Rennais FC, Auxerre, Porto, Lyon, and Stade Brestois and Valenciennes. So a pretty packed month there, and 2 games that could be quite exciting, Porto game and the Lyon game. So make sure you stay tuned and you can see them, and I hope to see you in the next episode.